Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of FTB Stoneblock 4 on the FTOG server. As promised at the end of last episode, the mountain. Allow me to explain a little bit. So, if you don't know, there are many things out in the world called video games. And one of those games is titled Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a fantastic game, and mountains like this feature fairly prominently. And I can't say a lot more without spoiling everything, but suffice it to say, this is where our tech is going to live. Because we've got our castle, we've got our barn, there's some stuff that might go over there at some point. We're going to fill the rest of this in at some point. But this is where our tech is going to live. But first, we're going to hop up to here. And this is blocks of coal, but it's actually false weave from Ars Nouveau. And if we hop through, we got some chests, we have some iron stuff, and item racks, armor stands. This is where our iron spells and spellbook stuff is going to go if I ever get around to caring about it. Not super interested, but I've never really been interested in that mod, especially when Ars Nouveau was in the pack. But you can see on the Jade display, these are all framed blocks with the obsidian scales. And if we click open this, we can walk into something very different than the rest of that aesthetic. So these are laboratory blocks, and I think I was using snow. I need to change that, actually. And then we come down into here. Boom. We have a lab. We have a central desk here with a teleporter that leads to the labs. So let's head back there. We have these cool sitting areas with lime seats so we can actually sit. We have frame trapdoors with lime wool. And then we have these cool stacked corner slope tables that I put together. I'm not sold on these, but I think I like the design because it's like table legs. And then we have our three areas. Now, in the past, I've split up tech into several variations of like organizational structures. We've gone by mod, but this time we're doing by purpose. So we have the create wing, the control wing, and the contain wing. And we're going to go through these in reverse order. Contain. This is for storage and containment stuff. The only thing in here right now is our compact machine for our power. We'll get back to that. Now we're going to jump to create. There are two things in create currently. There is first an animal rancher with a latex cow, and you make that by feeding insulating resin, which is an item, to a cow. And then this animal rancher milks it every 3 minutes or so and produces latex. Much easier than the standard way of making that like fluid extractor log setup. It's a little slower, but it's more convenient, and I've gone with it. Over here, I finished the quest to install or create the Ender Cell Nitro and put it in the world engine. And that was done primarily with this energizing orb. We've got our nitro rods. And you're asking yourself, how could this possibly be the whole setup? Well, turns out Ender.io, you go into them, you can do both ways on the extract. So pulling out of putting into the orb, we have a limited item filter that will allow only that many items of a kind into the orb at a time. So that's perfect for creating the stuff, right? And then we have the extract filter, which will only pull out the finished items. So real easy automation, just boom, boom, boom. The one catch is that you can only put one thing in here at a time. Say if you put diamonds and emeralds, they'll both go in, and that will stall the system. You can also see we have flux point now. And now we're going to head back to our compact machine. And I'm going to grab my, where is it? Personal shrinking device. Head in here. We have updated. So no longer is it mechanism, energy cell, and a tesseract, though I do have more tesseracts from a quest reward now. We have our flux plug. We have our flux storage, which seems to be at maximum. Got to start using some of that. And our flux controller, which now we are wirelessly charging our hotbar. So yeah, not much else different. I did train the apple chicken up. That's concerning. Actually. I might need to add an energy conduit somewhere, because for some reason that's not charging. I'll fix that off camera, but we have enough power for our purposes today. Let's head back out. And this has just been left stone to indicate that it can go further. This needs fixing. And then finally we have, okay, backing up. The create wing is for the creation of resources, like producing latex. You may ask, why is this here? This is a transformation. Why does that not go in control? Well, this wing is also for the production of new forms of stuff. The control wing is for using those resources, for turning them into things like circuit boards or machine frames with our dissolution chamber here. So how this works, it's a little complicated. We have Ender Tank, that's our latex tank. Here is our pink slime tank, and this will be our ether gas tank. Those are the three things you can use in a dissolution chamber in order to create things. The latex, you saw where that comes from. And then there's the chest and the output chest. Little sneak peek there. I'm not going to be too particular on the conduits. They're set up, in, out. Things go in. So yeah, latex comes from over here, right? Well, let's head up to the castle, and I can show you where the pink slime comes from. Because I finally found a use for this room. So, when I turn on this animal slaughterer, let's turn it on, just so we can show. And I bought some upgrades. I could have made these with the dissolution chamber, but I didn't want to. They're 15 coins each, so I just bought speed tier, processing, and a range add-on. Let's actually load that up so we can see. When that slaughters a creature, a mob, it will create meat, which is going into a void drawer because I have no use for it. And it is going into this jumbo tank on channel green. And that's just bulk storage. And then on channel pink, it's coming out of this tank and into our pink tank ender slime. Or pink slime ender tank. And the ender tanks were, I can create these now that I have the chronoton glass that we installed last episode. So I was really excited about that. So now, this working area. Let's turn on this so we can bring our mobs here and turn on the spawner. There. The mob slaughterer will just disappear them and turn them into slime. Not too complicated. Pretty cool. So now we have 3 purposes for our mob farm, which is pretty awesome. It's a lot of multi-pattern. Also, learned that this version of Apotheosis has a gem case. So I didn't need that whole big chest set up. It just stores them, and then you can like click on them. It has a built-in gem cutting table, so you can put the materials in here and upgrade your gems. I have installed 2 Warlord gems for a plus 25% max health into my chest plate. And I also installed 2 ballast gems into my sword for plus 14 attack damage. So this sword is actually doing decent damage now. I put our Sigil of Rebirth here. And you see 2920 red hearts for yellow level. That, if we go into episode prep, we have the Bobbly Hearts mod. So I've assembled all the stuff except for the hearts that I need for the red heart canister. I have also filled up this. If I take that away, I have 20 red hearts, 20 yellow hearts. And when you combine that with the Warlord gems, 9 and a bit bars of health. So we have much more health now. We're doing more damage. Haven't put in any protection gems because I don't have them yet. But if we head back down here, and there's probably more efficient ways to do this, but this is what we're doing. Okay, then control. I have decided that in order to future-proof our creations, I just made 64 of each machine frame, which is way more than I'm ever going to need. And when I have the ability to make ether gas, I have here. But in order to make ether gas, we need the laser drills. In order to make the fluid laser base, we need a few things. We can do this. We need Fortron-infused ingots and the energy processor. Maybe the circuit fabricator, maybe the crystal assembler. I haven't decided yet. But we need a bunch of AE stuff. And if we take a look at our quests here. Vault. After the Ender thing, there's another vault. And then for the Infernal, there's another vault. Now, this one and this one, the Infernal and the Ender, are boss fights. The maze, I don't know if it's a boss fight, but the maze gives us the Fortron stuff. Advanced machines come from this thing, Enderium blocks. And then the Infernal gives us the Spirit blocks. And if I remember correctly, did I write it down? I did. The Vitality Blade. That's our sword that we're going to want eventually. Because the Vitality Blade increases its base attack damage as you get the heart canisters. So I already have plus 40 damage when I get this sword. But in order to make it, we need the Spirit block upgrade. We need to get into occultism, and we need to find some Twilight Forest powder. So that's our goal for a little while going forward here. Now, regarding those boss fights, next episode we're going to do both. So we have the Infernal arena there, and then if we head down to the end ring here, we have this boss here. Now, doing this will also unlock our highest tier of Apotheosis World, but since we just did a big vault episode last week, not yesterday, I recorded it yesterday, but last week, we have a long episode last week, and it's going to be a longer episode next week, what with these boss fights and whatever else I get done. So I decided, since we have some time this episode, we're going to hop out and try out the maze vault today. So, hit the button to toggle force fields to progress through the maze. And we're going to muffle that. Because that's really annoying. Hit the buttons. What buttons? Also, I got another tool. I got a heavy plate shield. So, buttons. I see what we're doing here. You need to press buttons. Ooh, chests. We definitely want... Hello. What do we get? Storage crates. Okay. You can go away. So, presumably, the more buttons we press, the more force fields go down, and we can just buttons it up. Oh, we can't fly in here. Button. This isn't too hard, it seems. It seems to just be fairly linear, if a little bit tedious. Never mind. No. This is just gonna take a minute. And we'll see if we come across any monsters in the meantime. We have another loot chest, though. I'm hoping for, like, armor and weapons and stuff that I can break down into sands, but I'm not seeing any of that. Should have brought something to boost my speed so I can run around better. Alright, this is the no, yes. Okay, let's just, that button. This is through here. Hit that button. Maze slime, hello. You can see our sword is now doing more damage. What's that? I think that was part of the armor, maybe? There might be a ball lightning thing on one of my armors, because I boosted them all to purple. Yeah, ball lightning on the chest plate. That's what that is. Okay, nothing here, but we did get a maze slime egg, which is useful. Yeah, I upgraded all our armor to epic tier. We already pressed that button, so let's see if we can find ourselves a different force field further back that's gone down. Oh, chest. Come on. There we go. Not too much interesting stuff in these chests. Round. Okay. Lots of stuff. Lots of slimes. Very weird. Very annoying. Run around the maze. Already done that one. Okay. There's probably 16 of these buttons, if I had to make a wager, because of the coloring. Just exploring. I don't know which force fields. There's the pink one again. Let's light it up. Oh, I can't, obviously. We're in a dungeon. Gray. There we go. There's another one down. Go find what that unlocked. We're a little more tough now. Thanks to our newly improved armor. What is this? Interesting. Out of my way. So apparently you have to toggle some on and off to get, like, work your way through, which I did. And now we've made it here. And the question is, what's in here? This should give us Fortron blocks, right? Yeah. Random Codex Live 1. Get some stuff. Okay, we got our Fortron-infused blocks, which I believe is this one. So now we can do that to the world engine. Let's just go straight there and install it, shall we? And that'll allow us to make Fortron-infused ingots, which is a big deal. So let's minor world engine upgrade. Chanting table, great. Echo of the Lightbender. So we actually have to go to spawn. Okay. Echo of the Lightbender. Hey. Fortron. So I believe that'll let us do, like, refined storage, applied energistics stuff? which is cool. So back to the world engine now. Okay, let's submit our Fortron blocks and unlock. Let the cutscene play. Place those Fortron blocks. Tuk, 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 tuk. Cool. Right there. And now, let's see what we can use the Fortron ingots for. Fortron infused ingots. Uses. Okay, we can make extractors now, which is great. We'll be able to make the fluid laser base, some of it at least. Oof, a spell programmer. I want this, so we're gonna have to go into AE next, because I want these circuits, because I want Psi. I've never really played with it, but it looks fun. Ooh, a shrink mod. Gotta make that. Environmental controller, that'll be huge. So this is a pretty big boost for us. Nitro reactor, infinity ingots. This is pretty cool. So yeah, we've done that. And next episode, we are going to take on 2 bosses, which I'm actually going to go put this stuff away and record that episode right now. So we're picking up pretty close. But you have to wait a week. So yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. Later.